do you think that with the line between customer experience and marketing getting blurred, analytics, specifically in customer experience analytics, how can it be used to measure and improve the whole experience?
I decided a while back that I was never going to take a marketing role if I did not own product. I just made that decision in my career because I realized that your product is your brand, period. And that is my favorite expression. I say it all the time. People hear, oh, here goes Ash again. Your product is your brand, but the reason I believe so strongly in that is because we live in a world right now where your brand is not what you say it is. It's not what your advertising says it is. It's what your customers tell you it is. And that is 100% based on how they experience your product. And I always give the example of, if you don't believe that, tell me the last time you bought a 1-star rated product off Amazon. You've never bought a 1-star rated product off Amazon, no matter what the brand is. It could be the coolest brand you've ever heard. In fact, most people will buy a 4.5 or 5-star rated product off Amazon from a brand they've never heard of, versus a 1.5-star rated product of a brand that they know by heart and they've seen advertised every day in their faces. That's the power of the experience more so than the power of the advertising. And so the reason I actually no longer separate those two, and in fact, when I came here, funny story, when I started here with the CEO, Bob, interviewing me, I said, Bob, I don't want marketing in my title. He's like, but you're the CMO. You want to be this is a CMO job. I'm like, but I don't care. I'm the chief customer experience officer. What I care about is the customer experience. Marketing is like the marketing piece. It's advertising. Advertising your experience is great, but that's not how you win, right? And I'm interested in sort of winning, and you win by having the best customer experience, focusing on that, focusing on the journey, focusing on the data, focusing on the products you're going to build. And then if that happens, then telling your story is easy. That's just advertising. That's just creative, right? But if you can't stand behind it, you can't polish crap, as I say. You can't make a great product look good by great advertising. And so I think that's why, for me, these worlds emerged. I think you've seen the emergence of the concept of the chief customer officer, the chief growth officer, the chief customer experience officers. All these roles, which didn't exist 10 years ago, have sort of, in some views, replaced the CMO role. There's still a lot of companies who don't change the title, but have changed the scope. But those things have emerged because of the rise of the customer, right? The customer is sort of in charge. And so I think it's already there, and it's just only going to accelerate. And whether it means changing a title, Anisha, or if it just means that marketers are going to get more and more responsibility in the customer experience side, I think that's sort of already happening. And the biggest difference for a lot of the profile of these customers, and the reason it's a little hard now to find good marketers, is because of their ability to understand and work with data. And there's a lot of ways to do that wrong. There's a lot of ways to chase the wrong data or focus on the wrong things, because there's so much data out there and it's very alluring in a lot of ways. And I think one of the biggest challenges I see right now for marketers is, and what differentiates great from good, from not so great effective marketers, is their ability to understand what data matters and what doesn't anymore. And what's really been hard for marketers is they are so used to a certain playbook they've always had of how to use data, and it's changed so much because the consumer behavior's changed so much that letting go of that is hard. For example, this will be somewhat controversial. Marketers are so used to starting anything with let's do a segmentation and let's do personas and do all this stuff. The question is, why? Is there maybe there's a reason to use it, maybe there isn't. Or maybe right now there's so much amazing behavioral analytics that exists today that you don't have to create that anymore. You just have to know how to go out there and find those people. That you now could use data to understand who is using, forget about creating profiles. The data is there for you to understand who's using it, look at those audiences and go find them. You don't have to go do third-party research to do all this stuff to figure out who's interested in your brand. It's actually there. It's there. So the fact that people aren't as comfortable using sort of real-time available analytics versus the usual playbook they have of let's go do research, let's do this, let's do a persona, let's segment the market, and then you find yourself the results from that, a strategy from that, is not as effective as a strategy if you just mine the data you have understand how to use understand how to use it, understand how to use lookalikes, go out and do it, much more powerful. So there's been such a quick shift, and I'm not sure a lot of marketers have sort of figured out how to catch up with that yet. So that's one of the ways, that's I think right now how this is emerging, and more you'll see marketers come in the world who come from the analytics side more so than the creative side.